Hi Stampers, it's Gigi with StampFUNatics, and today I have this really cute candy treat box for Halloween, and that's using these cute little Tombstone boxes. Let me show you them. They come like this, and you get a front and a back, and what I want you to notice on them is one is bigger than the other. So the one that has a little bit bigger is your top. So that's the one you want to cut with your die and use for the top, and the smaller one is the bottom. And let me show you how to put the smaller one together. You're just going to bend on all the pre-scored lines. I mean, this couldn't be any easier. And then they've already put the tearing tape on, so we're just going to peel that off, put in our sides, bend it around. Let me turn it this way. Let's get this over. And it goes in like that. The same thing on this side. We're just gonna take the tape off, put in our tabs, fold it over the tabs, and just press it in like that. And there's your top, or your bottom. This one is going to be the top, which I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. But first, let me just show you what we're using today. We're gonna be using the Frightfully Cute bundle, and this comes with the Frightful Tags dies, which are all of these. You get a nice spider web and some saying tags, which are cool. A little fence, an owl, witch's hat, some stars and a tree. And if you notice, some of that is not in your stamps. So what you're getting is a witch and a moon, a cat, all of these cute little Halloween themed things. And then you're getting all of these cute sayings. So that's one thing we're going to be using. And then to make this project, I also used our Stitched So Sweetly dies, and I took the biggest one here and I put it over the top piece. Now, if you are going to use any dies, you want to make sure that you kind of pre-fold this to see how the dies are going to go, so that when you put your cutting die on like this and run it through, you want to make sure it's not going to go off and show. If you put it too high, let me show you on the inside, like if you put it here, it would be too low, and so then this gap would show when you go to fold up your box. So I went ahead and I cut one of these out for us, and I'll show you how to put that together now. Same way, we're just going to fold in all of our tabs and our sides, and then take off this tearing tape. Fold in your tabs and then fold right over the tab like that and press. Same thing here. Okay, and that's the front of your box. So before we put it on though, I want to put a window sheet in here. So let me show you some more of our supplies. So these were called Tombstone treat boxes, and they're in our new mini catalog. We're also going to be using a window sheet today, and this one I believe I cut just a little under 2.5. Let me see. This was, yes, 2 and 3/8, 2 3/8, and 3 and 3/8. And so I'm just going to take some glue dots, and I'm just going to put them on the 4 corners. So I'm going to press my 4 corners into the glue dot and lift. Do the same thing. And these glue dots are a little backwards because they're on the actual roll. Instead of the roll, actually, they're on the paper. Okay, so with that glue side up, I'm going to put that down into our box and just press those 4 corners down. Okay, so we now have our box all assembled for the bottom, but before we do that, we're going to put a piece of designer paper in the back. It made sort of a diorama look, if you can see. So when all the treats are out, you still have a really cute decorative thing to see, which you can put on a mantle or just keep out through the rest of Halloween. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take these candies, put them over here for now. And I'm gonna take a little liquid glue because that'll give me time to wiggle it around and get it where I want it. Take that and put it right side up, right in our box, just like that. Isn't that cute? And now we can put our top on and we can decorate from there. And see how you see that through the box? So cute. Okay, so those were the stamp sets that I showed you. Now, one other die that we're using is our layering circle die. Let me get rid of all this. And what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a piece of white paper, white cardstock, old olive, and these are just strips, pumpkin pie, smoky slate, and then some of our pretty glimmer black paper. Now, what I used for this, bring my dies back in, is I did, let's see, for the fence, I did it in smoky gray. And then I had for our glimmer paper, I used our spider web and our tree to make that shimmery. And then I also took a piece of orange and used my smallest scalloped circle die. And let's see, on the green, we're gonna stamp it and then use this tag die from our set. And then the only thing I didn't use when I stamped my spider, I used an old punch that I had. It is our 3/4 inch punch. It's retired, so you can't get it, but you could always just use one of your circle dies and use your smaller one, and that will work too. So use what you have. So let me go ahead and get these run through. I've already done that to save some time. So I have my pieces ready. Let me just get organized. And here are all my pieces. Now I went ahead and did the fence, like I told you. I have the tree and the spider web. I have the orange background. And then I stamped the spider from the set in black memento ink. And I also stamped the Frightfully Cute saying, and then cut it out with that die that comes with the set, which was this one, to save time. Okay, what I really want to show you is how to assemble everything. So let's bring in our box, and I'm going to first put a little glue right on the back of our spider web and put that up in the corner. And if you noticed, I started to punch all these out with my little pokey tool, and then I realized I don't really need to, so I stopped. You just need the web part because this will cover all of that, so I didn't want to waste the time doing it. So that's a little tip for you. Okay, then I'm using all of my dimensionals. Let me get a pack of dimensionals here for the rest. So I'm going to put on a dimensional in the center here. And then I'm going to put my spider on top. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of that. I love when we make a box because you can pop it up as much as you want. It's not going through the mail. So there you go. And then I'm going to take my mini dimensionals and I'm just going to put a couple on the back of our saying. So I've stamped it on the back. If you noticed, I didn't like the way it came out. So I flipped it over because paper has two parts. So just being transparent here, just use the back, don't throw it away. Paper has two sides. Okay, so we're just gonna put this right at the bottom and sort of center it. Let's see if we can get a little more over. Yeah. And then the next thing I did was I added my tree. Again, I am just using a little liquid glue. And if you get any on your window sheet, don't worry, it dries clear, so it won't show. And I'm just putting it on the inside right about there. And you can let it hang over a little if you want. And then my fence, so cute. I'm just taking the end here, maybe a little in between, and I'm gonna put that right over my tree and into the box. Oops. And like I said, it'll dry clear. Don't panic if you see some white, because that will come off when it dries. Okay, if it doesn't stick to me. Okay, then the only other thing I did was I used our cute stars, and I used the orange ones. So let's see, I think I took a larger one, oops, and I added it there. And then I took two smaller ones and added, whoops, okay, come to me. Oh, one there, and maybe one there. And I might even want to move this down a little bit. So I don't really press hard until I got them right where I know I want them. So there you go. And that's our second box. Now I've made two other boxes I wanted to share with you. I have this cute one. And again, these are all using the stamps and the dies from our Frightfully Cute set. This one says, "Which way to the candy?" I did the hat with the glimmer paper. I used some black stars this time, and then I just stamped the rest of it. Now here I used Daffodil Delight, which is the same color I used for the moon. I used that just my blend marker and went around the edge after I cut it for a little interest. And then I have this one, which is another cute one, using the cute little owl. And to make his eyes yellowed, I just cut a sliver of yellow Daffodil Delight, put it in the back. I put a little tiny piece of the black, and then just did dimensionals to make him pop up. I did the same thing with the hat. I did it in, I believe it's Gorgeous Grape, and then stamped some of our bats that are in the set, said Happy Halloween to you, and then I also just cut like the hat out in black, and then I cut the band and just glued that on to make it a little bit shinier. And so those are 3 different projects you can do with this adorable set. Let me show you again. Here's all the dies. I'll put them all back. And I'll show you the stamp set one more time. Okay, so this is called Frightful Tags Dies, Frightfully Cute Stamp Set. And if you purchase these together, you can save 10% off of your price, or you can purchase one or the other, whichever way you want to do it if you already have some of this. But anyway, if you need any of these supplies, you can go to my website, StampFUNatics.com, and if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, go ahead and do that, because I will give the other instructions on how to make the other 2 in my newsletter coming up. So if there's still time to do that. So anyway, thanks for joining me today, and if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks. Have a great day.